third leg of the tripod, which has to do with sustainable economic growth. Let's start with the target as stipulated by United Nations. The target in this regard is, I'm going to read it out to you. I would like to quote the United Nations so that you react to it. The first one is to sustain per capita economic growth in accordance with national circumstances, and in particular, at least 7% GDP growth per annum in least developed countries. Now, my question to you is, how do you think Nigeria can achieve this per capita economic growth given the circumstances that Nigeria has found itself? Because this target is talking about sustainable per capita economic growth in accordance with national circumstances. As someone who has been in that space, in the Nigerian space for years, you are aware of the circumstances business owners are in. But how can we sustain our capital, per capita economic growth as a nation?
Yes, it's been more or less static. Our growth per capita has been more or less static. Even the GDP growth has also been more or less static. And that's an indication that something is wrong somewhere. One of the things that is wrong is that ease of business has not improved. The major contributor to the GDP are those in business. So if they are not contributing well enough, it means that ease of business has not improved. Government needs to begin to work on liberalizing ease of doing business. Government needs to begin to provide infrastructures that will encourage doing business. Government also needs to begin to look at their policies. Do we need to reform some? Do we need to renew some? Do we need to throw some away? These are also areas that government needs to begin to look at. Then again, when it comes to growing our per capita, you need to begin to also let the citizens know that they must be productive. We have so many lazy youths around going about in the morning, drinking alcohol, engaging in different betting and games in the morning. There must be some form of education to address that gap. That's a big gap that has to be addressed. When we do not have youth that are ready to work also, it works against the growth of our GDP and our per capita. That also needs to be addressed. Again, too, is the fact that government needs to begin to look at how to bring down their structure to the level that is closer to the people. It's not right for government to be working just at the federal level and the states are not supporting it. You discover that in the statistics we wrote out the other time, the states in Nigeria rank the last to Leo. Out of 16, we are ranking 15. That means the states are not doing well enough. States need to be brought to the table. They need to be more responsible. And if they need structure to work with, government at the federal level can create those structures for the or templates for the states to begin to work with. At the same time, too, you look at the major contributor of the economy. Who are the people that employ a large number of people, of workers at a time? You discover that there are these multinationals, and these multinationals are already leaving the shores of the country. Quite a number of them have left, some have downsized, some have divested, and all of that. Government also needs to begin to look at how to encourage these multinationals to stay in our country and be more productive. Their staying means that they will continue to keep their workforce and improve on that workforce. They will continue to transfer knowledge to the local because they come with a lot of knowledge and technology. They also continue to pay more taxes to government. That grows our GDP. And it means that government needs to sit down with them, look at their basic needs, provide solutions for them, and if possible, provide other intervention programs to make them stay. It makes no sense going around the world looking for investors to come to Nigeria when those that are in the country are leaving. That makes no practical sense. We also need to begin to look at the challenges that the MSMEs are facing. We have a number of them. Some of them are issues of finance, some of them are issues of infrastructure, some of them are issues of multiple taxes and all of that. Government needs to also begin to address some of these issues so that that sector can be activated, stimulated, and grow. If they grow, our per capita income will grow, our GDP will also grow. And it is important for that to happen. We also begin to look for, particularly government this time, for alternative source of funding. One way to get source for funding is to nip corruption. We're able to nip corruption, you will discover that the nation's funding will grow. It's unfortunate today that we are paying so much on debts as a nation. We are using the fund we're supposed to build our infrastructure, build our health system, build our education system, and all of that to repay debts. We can cut down on that by looking at how we can stop corruption or perhaps reduce corruption to the barest minimum. Government also need to begin to look at how they can downsize their expenditure. Government expenditure is too overbloated, and that's not good for us. We need to have a robust discussion as a nation on that area, how we can reduce to a minimum our expenditure as a nation so that we can have more fund for other critical areas of the economy. Government also needs to look at how to put technocrats in place. At the moment, I do not really agree that we have enough technocrats handling our fiscal policies. And that's why you see CBN taking a lot of giant stride in policy making. As against the government coming out with fiscal policies. And that is a question, is a need to question if government really has the technocrats that can do that. We have wonderful Nigerians in Nigeria and abroad that can be brought in to help us to refine our policies and make it be localized to our practical need in the country. One of such is the issue of the minimum wage. We have been talking about the minimum wage up and down, this and that. The minimum wage, when it becomes law, is what everybody should pay, whether you're an SME or you're a civil servant or all of that. But the question is, can the SMEs pay 60 or 62,000 naira? From my end, the answer is a big no, because most of us are challenged. So if it is not, could it be that we should begin to look at innovative ways of going about the minimum wage? One innovative way could be that there could be a particular minimum wage for those in government and another one for SMEs. I'm not talking of OPS in general. We have some large corporations that can pay for SMEs. Could be that we have a set of minimum wage for MSMEs. But we want to have one minimum wage across board, but we want to exempt the SMEs for some period of time, maybe some months or years, so that they can stabilize and begin to pay the new minimum wage. These are the discussions we should be having if we have enough technocrats in place. Because if you pass a bill of a minimum wage that is one for all, we discover that it will only be alive on paper, but will not be alive in reality. So as governments, as people in the country, as communities, as youth, women, and all of that, we must all put our hand on the table to make it work. Without that, no particular sector or arm can do it alone. Government cannot do it alone. The people cannot do it alone. The communities cannot do it alone. We must come together. And government is the only one that can unify us better. Government must provide a platform where we all can have a voice to talk about national matters and have a voice in the national policy and decision making. And as with that, we'll be able to hold those policies, those matters, those decisions together. We'll be able to grow those policies, decisions together. We'll be able to implement it together, and we'll be able to also monitor it together. And then with that, we'll get a collective result that we all want. And that will help to promote more of the SDG goals that we have. And if that is done, when we come to 2030, you will see us nearing a better rating better than what we have at the moment. I'm not too sure that at the local government level or at the state government level, there are committees or boards that are in place to ensure strict compliance and adherence to these SDG goals. We are just talking about it at the national level. It should be cascaded to even the communities, even the educational sector, even the business communities. And that's what I want to recommend.
All right, let's wrap up our conversation with this question. Given the target set by the United Nations, which is the year 2030, this is 2024, we have 6 years to go. What do you make of the reality of achieving this goal by the year 2030? Is that realistic?
Well, from all factors available, it will be a miracle if we achieve it. Let me not say it is not achievable. I will say it will be a miracle if we are able to achieve it. Our ability to achieve it will mean that we have been able to achieve some before now that are verifiable. Our ability to achieve it will be that we have institutions in place that are able to drive us to achieving it, which is not really there. Our ability to achieve it will also mean that there are some structure that are able to ensure adherence to some of these policies that will help us to achieve this SDG goal, which is not really there. Our ability to achieve it will also mean that key active players are at different level of government working towards the same goal, which is also not there. Our ability to achieve it also means that we have the fund to also be able to achieve it. Funding at the moment is not too healthy. You can remember, we can wonder government thinking of going to the pension fund to borrow money. It means that we do not have enough fund. So some of these goals need funding to be able for you to achieve it. Achieving it also means that we must be able to bring everybody in this different strata of the economy on board, particularly the youth. Youth organizations are not really engaged well enough, and they are the major drivers of some of these SDG goals because they are the median age of our population. Our ability to also achieve this means that we also want to work with other nations that have done better than us in this SDG goal, begin to learn from them, begin to use some of their templates to work, and now localize those templates to what is applicable in our country. That's a lot of work that needs to be done, which we should have started with 5, 10 years ago. But to me, at the moment, we are still going around one same circle.
All right, Dr. Femi Egbeshola, always a pleasure and even thought-provoking having this kind of sensitive conversation with you on critical issues like this. We must thank you for your time and your thought. No doubt you're the right man for this kind of conversation. Thank you so much for your commitment and your patriotism.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity once